Posting is a big deal. You want to get the most out of your post, right? You want to get a response. You want it to elevate your business. So making mistakes in posting could actually do the opposite. It could fail your business. It can alienate potential clients. So I've got a set of rules that I teach and I work with. And this is my number one rule for the business overall. It's not about you, it's about them. Then I have a very short list of posts that I encourage people to stay away from. No political posts, no religious posts. And I've actually had to explain that to a few people who just simply didn't get it. So, why not? Let's take a political post, for example. 50% of the country goes one way, 50% of the country goes another way. If you take a position, you can potentially be alienating 50% of your clients. You don't care who they vote for or what their politics are. You want to serve them for your business, the high intensity strength training. Just stay neutral. What you do in your own private home is your business, and what they do is their business, because that's not what I do. I specialize in strength training. This is important.
Welcome to another episode brought to you by Imagine Strength, the future of safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training equipment. Are you a HIIT studio owner looking for equipment that's not just top-notch, but also tailored to your specific needs? Imagine Strength is your answer. Inspired by the legendary Arthur Jones, Imagine Strength is revolutionizing the HIIT industry with their state-of-the-art yet affordable equipment. Their team doesn't just sell HIIT equipment, they live and breathe it. I've personally experienced their gear at the Resistance Exercise Conference, and let me tell you, it was an intense workout that I won't soon forget, in the best way possible, of course. So why choose Imagine Strength? Number one, they provide customized solutions for HIIT studios. Number two, they have budget-friendly yet high-performance designs. And number three, they're committed to innovation and excellence in high-intensity training specifically. Founder Jeff Turner and his dedicated team are on a mission to make HIIT accessible to everyone. Getting started is easy. Number one, visit imaginestrength.com. Number two, consult with their expert team. And number three, choose the equipment that will skyrocket your business. Don't wait. Head over to imaginestrength.com and elevate your HIIT studio today with Imagine Strength. Lawrence Neal here, and welcome back to High Intensity Business, your one-stop shop for growing your HIIT business and elevating your passion for high intensity training. This is episode 464. And in this episode, we are going to be evaluating social media posts, specifically in the HIIT business space, and helping you get the best results with your social media. So I'm looking down because I've got my little script here because I'm going full screen on Zoom with Pete Surqua, and on my other screen is the social media content we're going to be evaluating. Today's guest is obviously Pete Surqua. For those that don't know Pete, he is a master high-intensity fitness coach, creator of the 90-second fitness solution. He's been professionally coaching since 1985, is a 5-time best-selling author for Simon & Schuster and Sky Horse Publishing, very big publishing houses for those that don't know, which include the books High Intensity Fitness Revolution for Women and High Intensity Fitness Revolution for Men. Pete owned and operated a small HIIT studio averaging $1.2 million in revenue for 16 years. His coaching program that he's offering now shows personal trainers, HIIT business owners, how to earn 7 figures per year. If you're interested in that, please apply for Pete's one-on-one coaching over at highintensitybusiness.com/coaching. Pete, great to see you.
Great to be here, Lawrence. Thank you for having me on.
You're always very welcome. So, Pete, before we get into these posts and I share my screen, do you want to just set the stage so people know the lens through which we're going to be thinking about this and analyzing these posts?
Yes, posting is a big deal. People want to get the most out of your post, right? You want to get a response. You want it to elevate your business. So making mistakes in posting could actually do the opposite. It could fail your business. It can alienate potential clients. So I've got a set of rules that I teach and I work with and I share with people. My number one rule, and this is my number one rule for the business overall. And that rule is, it's not about you, it's about them. Sounds kind of simple, but let's break it down a little bit. I encourage business owners to just understand this rule and then try to operate around it and make decisions based on it. So it's not about you, it's about them. What would be an example of the opposite? Well, it's about me and it's not about the client. What if I was demonstrating an exercise in a post where I get in there and say, hey, here's one of my favorite bicep exercises, and I'm in a tank top and, I'm showing my arms and I'm doing some curl. This is the way you should do it. That's not about the client. That's about me. So that's just one example. You want to say it's not about you. It's about them is more like, here, let me recommend an exercise for you that I think will benefit you. It's for the biceps. Here's the research on it. You're not demonstrating it. You're talking about it. Maybe there's a video clip of you working with somebody and adjusting their form. Now that's about the client. That's about that. So it's same information, but presented differently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's important. Then I have a very short list of posts that I encourage people to stay away from. So obviously, no political posts, no religious posts. And I've actually had to explain that to a few people who just simply didn't get it. So, why not? As well, let's take a political post, for example. 50% of the country goes one way, 50% of the country goes another way. If you take a position, you can potentially be alienating 50% of your clients. You don't care who they vote for or what their politics are. You want to serve them for your business, the high intensity strength training. So don't go down that road. Just stay neutral and stay out of it. What you do in your own private home is your business, and what they do is their business. And that applies with religion as well, religious posts. And I see people putting up, a holiday is coming up and they're putting up a very religious post instead of the commercial, happy whatever, right? There's a commercial version, which is acceptable. That's just kind of common. And then there's the deeper religious post, which now you just, and I'm a spiritual guy. I'm not trying to, take a position on religion or politics. I'm just saying, stay away from these subjects when it comes to your money. Okay. And I want to give you another big picture example. Let's say you own a supermarket, and some of these big supermarkets, the big names in your area, believe it or not, and I know the numbers for a fact because I've done research on this. A really high-end supermarket will do a minimum of $5 million in sales a week. That's good money, isn't it? Some of them do upwards of $25 million a week.
But there's like 2% margins or 1% margins, right?
Well, the margins are small, but their overhead is, think about the overhead. I mean, you talk about a high-intensity strength training studio and you pay your electric bill and your real estate taxes and, oh my God, that was a lot of money. These guys are doing it on 50,000 square feet. What's their electric bill? 20,000 a month, 25,000 a month? Big numbers. So let's take a $5 million a week supermarket. Now, you have everything in there. You've got cereal, you've got candy, you've got vegetables, you've got meat. What if you said, you know what? I'm only going to sell meat. I don't believe in that vegetarian nonsense. So we're only going to sell meat in my supermarket. Well, you just alienated like 80% of your clients who buy vegetables. This is the same thing. It's the same business model. Don't alienate anybody.
This is coming from a true carnivore.
I am a carnivore, but I don't talk about it with my clients. I don't share my nutrition beliefs with anybody. I don't preach them. I don't encourage them. Well, how do you eat, Pete? I have to do the best I possibly can to try to stay lean and build muscle. Protein is definitely important and a consideration. I give you a very generic answer. It's polite and it's respectful. And if you wanted help with your nutrition, I can point you towards a nutritionist because that's not what I do. I specialize in strength training. This is important. Okay.
All right. I'm just conscious we want to get into these posts. Any more really important rules?
No. The few more that I have, I'll bring up when we're looking at some posts together. Let's look at some posts together.
Yeah. And just for everyone listening, watching, obviously this is going to be a very visual podcast. So if you're listening to this, we will do our best to vividly describe these images to you. But it'll probably serve you better to actually jump on YouTube and see the video of this at some point. So I'm going to share my screen and we are going to start reviewing these. Okay. So here we go. All right. Can you see that, Pete?
I can.
Okay, cool. So we'll actually kick off with the one at the top, if that's okay with you, Pete. So this is a Fit 20 post. So far away, what's your thoughts?
This is a good post. I'm leaning towards this is more positive. So the Fit 20 franchise model is well, it's neat, clean, and organized. It's what you see is what you get. Their colors are pleasing. This photograph is pleasing. Will this post generate new clients? I'm going to lean towards yes. And why? Well, because there's nothing negative in it. So it's showing just a small part of their studio. It's showing the equipment. And what the viewer is going to see in this type of post is, wow, that's a nice looking facility. It's not intimidating. It looks welcoming. The colors are pleasing. I wouldn't mind checking that out and finding out more about it. So I'm putting this on the plus side. Is there anything I would change in this post? No, nothing I would change in this post. The only minor thing is that window up to the left.
Yeah, I thought about
I
that.
kind of wish that was a solid wall, but that's really nitpicking.
Or
Other
a
than
nice
that,
window with some light coming in. No.
if it was a visually pleasing window, then that's great. But this window is just a little off somehow. Other than that, I like the dark colored wall and their green colors with that darker brown gray, and the equipment colors I think are really unique. So overall, a good post. If you do something like this for your studio, you are going to increase business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and for those who are wondering, where is Exeter? That's in the United Kingdom, ladies and gents.
That's right.
And, I'm assuming, I haven't seen the caption to this post, but I assume there's some bullets on how strength training helps regain mobility. Are you a fan of that? Having a bit more information in the caption to educate the prospect or the customer?
You know what? It's a great tagline. Fit 20 Exeter is a great place for regaining mobility. They're not preaching to you. They're not shoving anything down your throat. It just stops right there. And I'm fine with that. I think that's actually good. You want people to ask questions and want to know more. You don't want to give them all the information. Also, in Fit 20, their tagline in the photo underneath their logo, fit in 20 minutes per week. It also tells you about their program, which makes you, again, ask, really, is that all I have to do? So overall, this is a good static image. It's a good post.
But I'm just curious your thoughts on the caption, not the caption as in on the photo, but on Instagram, you have the caption underneath where you can put whatever text you want.
I limit that. And I encourage people that don't try to educate and now, write a novel, keep it brief. And if it's in the photo, like it is here, don't write anymore.
Okay. Or maybe like a simple call to action to get in touch, make contact, book a free workout, etc. In that caption, would you?
The address of the place would be fine, where it's actually located, or a website or something like that.
Got it. Okay.
Keep it simple.
Yeah. I mean, you could say, obviously, on Instagram, for instance, you've got links in bio, right? Where you've got call to actions to make contact, book a free workout, and you could just point to that in the caption as well. Okay. Moving on, we'll do another Fit 21 here. Here we go.
Okay. Also a good post. The only way that this post would be better, and Fit 20 does these posts, if the trainer was standing next to the client, and a 3/4 angle, so you can kind of see the trainer's face and body a little bit, and they're positioned, but right next to the client. Fit 20 does posts like that. This particular post, you have a client doing the chest press exercise. There is some sort of a screen monitor in front of her, indicating that this is part of the program. Again, that's a question. It creates a question here. Well, I wonder what that is. Well, what does that do? That's interesting. It's a nice looking machine. They've got their logo behind them. The client is not in pain. Also, the client is well dressed. The client is not in gym clothes. So are you saying I don't have to change into gym clothes? Every time a client or a potential client asks a question in their head, that's a plus for your business. That means they're eventually going to have to call and ask you. When you get them on the phone, then it's, hey, you got to come in and try this for yourself. It's really wonderful. That's your opportunity. That's what you're looking to create with posts, opportunities to close clients. The post itself is not going to close them. It's not a big call to action. You want to create curiosity and mystery. And then that leads to, there's an expression, mystery leads to urgency. It's a great expression. A friend of mine taught it to me years ago. It didn't mean much to me at the time. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, there you go. This post creates mystery. At some point, you're going to want to find out more about this. So you start looking. Where are they located? I got to talk to somebody. I'll send them an email first. There's the urgency. So this is good. Another good post by Fit20. Congratulations.
My only small critique, and it's a minor nitpicking thing, is that her eyes are almost shut. And I would have taken, obviously they would have taken like, I don't know, hopefully more photos in this situation. And I would have thought that her smiling, which is great, and her, like you said, her looking relatively comfortable, not in pain, but just have the eyes open more. That was only my only negative.
If you look carefully, her eyes are shifted over to her left a little bit, which is focusing on the monitor. They are open, but they're not open as wide as they could be. I see your point.
Yeah.
I would have liked, so when Fit20 does a post, let's put the trainer in there, who's also very well dressed. And the trainer is smiling, and sometimes the client is smiling at the trainer.
Yeah.
Those are photos. So they've done this one a little bit better with her smile in her eyes. But overall, not bad.
That's probably because that's like as a best practice in web design. When you're looking at your hero image, which at the top of your website is like your main image, right? It's like the best thing you can get normally is someone smiling using your product or service. So that's what you made me think of then, because you're right. If you've got a trainer in the image, the client doing the exercise, smiling at the trainer, it says so many things. It says, I'm enjoying this. I love our relationship. I value you. There's a lot of positive connotations there. So no, I like the fact that you brought that up. Okay. Should we move on to the next one?
Let's see. What do we have next?
Here we go.
Okay. So for those of you, and most of you know that that's a Medix leg press behind the trainer. We're assuming that this is a trainer because she's wearing a stopwatch. It's a nice pose. I like shots of, and I encourage people I coach, I tell them, do a selfie with, at least a third or a quarter of your gym behind you. So you have a few machines and people can see the studio and you smiling. That's a great shot. This is a little bit more limiting. Now, what would I like to do in this post? First of all, this is not one of my trainers. If it was one of my trainers, she would be dressed more professionally. I go for an upscale dress code. I think it brings an upscale client, and it also makes people who kind of can afford us, they'll reach deep into their pocket and they'll pay for our service. So, people where they're at their kind of limit of fees, they still, because we're so professional, we deliver such great customer service, they write the check. So here, that's a baggy sweatshirt. The stopwatch, I always wore a stopwatch around my neck, but I wore a warm-up jacket and a dress shirt. So I'd have a button-down dress shirt and a warm-up jacket, and the stopwatch would be tucked in the warm-up jacket for me to reach in and grab it when I needed it, but otherwise you couldn't see it. I think that's more visually pleasing and more professional. She's wearing some sort of tights or warm-up pants, whatever they call those. Again, looking like she's ready to work out, not ready to teach or serve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All valid points. Appreciate that. As again, we're trying to be obviously really respectful here, and hopefully if this individual or that business watches this, hopefully they that's helpful. I actually quite like the.
You can only make more money if you
exactly.
You'll make more money.
It's all with good intentions. I like the stripes on the Medix play. I've not seen that before as like maybe a foot placement guide. I thought that was kind of interesting.
I
I agree with your points. By the way, I said leggings. I think that's a British term for like
Leggings.
yoga pants. I don't know. Could be
No,
getting that.
I
Don't
think
know.
that's the correct term here in
Okay.
the
All
United
right.
States as well.
All right.
And,
Cool. All
and you
right.
should be pleased that I'm not that up to date on women's fashion.
Suppose I am. Today's episode is sponsored by Imagine Strength, the game changer in safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training machines. When it comes to HIIT, Imagine Strength is your go-to for intelligently designed, efficient, and affordable equipment. Their team is passionate about HIIT, and it shows in every piece they craft. So why are Imagine Strength the right choice? Number one, they tailor-make their equipment for HIIT studios. Number two, they provide cost-effective solutions for your business. And number three, they are committed to ongoing innovation and refinement. Ready to take your HIIT business to the next level? Visit imaginestrength.com to discuss your needs and find the perfect gear for your studio. Join the HIIT revolution of Imagine Strength and transform your workout experience today. All right, let's move on to the next one. Here we go.
Okay, let's see what we have here. So first of all, if you notice in the background, we have a piece of Imagine Strength equipment, and this is a leg extension machine, and it is a beautiful piece of equipment. What I'm not sure of and what I don't like about it are what are those red pads stuck in between the bars and on top of the equipment? Are they some sort of pad to pad up the client? But anyway, that's a question in my mind, and I think it's a little bit of a distraction. Why are those pads there? Let's read the text. The hardest thing about exercise is to start doing it. This is one of these things where I tell people, don't try to have like an awesome quote, Shakespeare said this, or Benjamin Franklin said, don't quote Benjamin Franklin.
Why not?
You're trying to come across as like, when social media started, I noticed quotes started popping up everywhere. Either they would quote somebody or try to create their own quote because they wanted to be notable and remembered forever.
Or maybe it's not that. Maybe their intention is just to inspire. I get inspired by lots of great quotes. I'm sure you do. And it's like, why not? If you get a quote, it's like, oh, that's really inspired me. And I think that's going to help my audience or help my clients. Why not share that?
Because this is a service business and you want to serve the client, and you got to come back to that at all times. And if your quote is about serving the client,
right,
it's different. We would love to help you with this exercise. And that was very lame and just rolled off me. But something to that effect is going to make the client look at that and say, well, that's really nice of them. I should give them a call. I want to try this out.
Okay, so being mindful of the type of quotes you're sharing, you don't think this is a particularly helpful one?
It's not harmful, but it could be done better. Also, the blue color.
Yeah, I really do not like the. Yeah,
it gets a little busy. Now let's take a look at it.
Yeah. Well, no, just on the font quick, it looks like, I'll be a bit me here, but it looks like straight out of like old school, like PowerPoint version 1 from like 95, right? The font looks just like that. I'm sure it's actually not. But yeah, something about the font, it doesn't, the image resolution is also not great. I don't know what it is. It just doesn't look quite right. And to your point, those pads, those red pads should be set aside, shouldn't be in the image. I understand why they're there because they're obviously supports on the machine, I assume.
You know what? I don't know. And I've been in this business for 40 years and I can't tell you exactly what they're for.
Okay. All right. Or maybe they could be for another machine. I don't know. I can't remember how they might be used on the leg extension as a support for Imagine.
That should be cleaned up. It shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
I don't like the text on top of her legs like that. I think if you're really going to show off your facility, you need to be provocative. And in the last post, the Fit 20 post, the client was dressed in her everyday, clothes. She didn't have to change into gym clothes. This client had to change into gym clothes. And now you're asking yourself, I wonder if I have to go there and change and then sweat and take a shower. Now, the answer is no, but you don't know that from looking at this picture. So if you're asking yourself the wrong questions, you're disqualifying yourself as a potential client before you even talk to anybody.
But then you're suggesting that all client photos should be clients wearing regular clothes.
In my case, that's what I did. I wouldn't have anybody in gym clothes. I wouldn't train anybody in gym clothes. You
But
know,
there's a lot of counter examples of that, Pete. I'd say
there are lots, but I'm trying to get
which
more
still
business.
work well. Yeah, but I'd say these still work well. I don't think maybe they're neutral then. I don't think they're harmful. Maybe
No,
if
they're
you've got a
not
mixture,
harmful.
maybe if you've got a mixture of both athleisure and business attire or regular clothes, clients in both.
For me personally, in my studio, I would never have a photo of anybody in gym clothes, only because I'm always trying to be provocative. I'm always trying to get under somebody's skin and make them argue with me or call me. Why is that person wearing a tie during an exercise? That's ridiculous. You know, that's funny you asked that question. Why don't you come in and I'll show you what? Well, that's just my sales.
Thing is, that was your brand, wasn't it? I mean, your one liner. Don't change your clothes. It's in your one liner. Give us the quick example. How does it go?
15 minutes. You don't have to sweat or change your clothes.
Right. So that's like such a big key part of your brand. And
Right.
I don't think everyone necessarily has that as part of it. It has to have that. And I just also want to stress this. I think few people think that like when you're coaching them, it's like the Pete Circle way or the highway. And that is not at all how you operate.
No,
You're going to adapt what you do to their particular business, their particular values, and we're all different. I guess there are principles that usually apply to everyone. And if there's something that Pete thinks is going to really harm your business, he's obviously going to say something and try and steer you away from it. But I'm not sure if this is one of those.
This is a post that could be done better. It's not a bad photo.
Right.
I have no problem with her not smiling. She's not in pain. Right. And that would be a no-no. I think posts where somebody's like really wincing in pain, I don't think it's going to promote your business well. This is her body.
She looks chill.
Yeah, it's very middle of the road. This post I don't think is going to make you any money, but you're not going to lose any money. Just my opinion.
Yeah. And I have no idea which business this is. And I think that's obviously where possible, we're going to try and avoid, revealing the business because perhaps that's not very fair. Okay.
Okay. Let's see what we have here. So we've got.
We accidentally cut the text off on us. Yep.
Yep. We missed some of this. Let's see if we can make out some of it. Possibly.
There's mainly a call to action to get people to get in touch, isn't it?
Yeah. Something about healthier habits in the first line. I'm sorry we cut this off and framed it poorly, so we can't read it to you. It might just mean contacting us to have a chat about your health goals. It's very neutral. Contact information is below. If you'd like to call, text, or email, I would like to. I would like a stronger, stronger language. I don't like hey, listen. If you sort of like kind of want to reach out, maybe talk to me sometime, I would be possibly open. Like it's like, no, take a stand, Yeah. As far as the photo goes and the equipment, it's nice equipment. I see Medix. I see 2, possibly 3 pieces of Medix in the back. I see the Medix Pro leg curl, great machine. I see it looks like a water fountain right there with a plant on it. The window, no, that's a mirror. That's a small mirror. Excuse me. Mirrors in high intensity studios are generally a no-no.
Yeah, right.
And this one could be a bit of a distraction. I see to the right, they have an anatomy chart. I think that's perfectly fine. And
I wouldn't get anything done in that studio, Pete. I'd just be flexing in front of the mirror the entire time. As would you, I'm sure, with those 16-inch arms. Is that right?
That's they're a little bigger than 16, pal. So,
sorry, as you were.
Yeah, thank you. But it's beautiful equipment. It's a nice looking studio. I want to applaud them on this really interesting lighting under the chair rail molding. If you notice that lighting, there's a blue light in the chair rail molding. It's different. It's unique. It's pleasing. So I applaud them on that. They actually spent some money and time and thought putting that together. I think overall, this is a pretty good post. The text is what goes wrong for me. There's too much of it. We didn't get it. We didn't get it all in the screenshot, and I apologize again, but it's weak. You need to be a
Yep.
little firmer in your text and, or just emphasize the photo more.
I really completely agree. And thank you for, I've realized I've not done a great job describing these photos, but I think you have for those that are listening. I fully agree with your points here. And just to be more specific on the copy, yeah, it should be a lot briefer. It shouldn't be passive. It's quite weak. It should literally be, you don't want to say contact us to have a chat about your health goals. You want health goals. You want to be contact us to like transform your body. Like, you want it to be a benefit orientated or result orientated call to action, like a really strong, like contact us to build muscle today, like, and then the call to action, like make it really, really direct.
Yeah. The first step is picking up the phone.
Yeah.
Something, bam, right? This is such a lovely studio, a nice looking studio that if you had some clients in there that were well dressed and maybe a trainer, and maybe they do have photos of that, it would only elevate your business. So, putting some people in the shots and additional photos would only benefit you. Please, I hope
Yeah.
they do it.
Yeah. I think the design's quite nice with the way they've done they put the picture in two halves with the blue, like paint stripe going across it or vertically, and then the text over the top. I think it looks quite professional. It's just there's way too much copy and it's not direct enough.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on next.
6 benefits of resistance training: improve mental health, improve posture, improve bone density, improve heart health, boost metabolism, enhance quality of life.
So just to pause for a second, sorry. So this is, again, I'm not going to identify the person. We both know the person. But she's in the background. Again, people watching this will probably know. She's in the background. The image is slightly faded out. I don't know how you describe that. The title is 6 benefits of resistance training. And then she stood behind the 6 benefits that are in small domes in like a 3 on the top and then 3 on the bottom in front of her, circles. Yes. Yeah, right. Go ahead. Sorry,
you're describing this because people can't see it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to help people paint a picture if they're like cycling or in the car. And then when you then critique it, it will make more sense. Yeah.
Okay. So the trainer or business owner is out of focus. They are not.
That's it.
Now, that is a shame in this case because this particular owner is a beautiful person. She's a lovely lady and she's so photogenic, and to have her out of focus is really not adding to this post at all. She should be in focus, and these 6 benefits of resistance training should be a little bit smaller type and maybe done not so it's the focus of this, because these 6 benefits are in the type is really blocking most of her. But she should be the primary, part of this post, and it should be a really great photo of her. So I think that's like step number 1. 6 benefits of resistance training. I kind of like 3, and maybe 2 different posts of 3 apiece. I don't think I kind of get lost with 6. I would rather 3 across the bottom would be a little more tasteful, and I would absorb that information. And then if she wanted to do a second post with 3 more, here's even more benefits of resistance training, I think that might be beneficial. So yeah, this post could be done much better. And this person is so photogenic. She should be clearly photographed in all her posts.
And then one of the benefits should be about anti-aging when she's in focus too. I think, I completely agree. You faded. I meant to say what you said, which is be in focus. And I agree with your point about less is more, having 3 benefits rather than 6. Again, people like to conserve energy when they consume social media content. They want it to be really easy just to understand, lots of clarity. They don't have to do too much thinking and just immediately understand what they're looking at, why, how it's going to add value to them. All right. So
just for one more second, because I'm just having a thought right now. You know what I would rather do is I'd rather milk this post. I would rather my top line say, "Did you know that strength training, resistance training," and then give 1 can improve mental health, and then do a second post, a third post, do 6 separate posts. Again, the owner would be in focus. And like a did you know kind of a thing, I think is serving the client better. It's like, oh, this is interesting. Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Well, could you go one step further with that and say, did you know resistance training improves cognitive health? And then have like 3 bullets, because you could expand on that a little bit. And then you could,
No,
because it might be quite empty if it was just, I don't know.
well, so yes and no. So depending on the person, okay, but when you have somebody as photogenic as this lady is, the post says, well, if I work out in her facility, I will look as youthful as she does. Right. And that's what you want to promote. She's got a gift. She should use it more. She is youthful looking. She looked like she's in great shape. I've seen her in other posts. She is in great shape.
Mm-hmm.
She should promote that. And she only needs one little bullet at a time to pull people in and make them reach out and say, hey, listen, what her goal is and specifically her is she wants people to be comfortable enough to pick up the phone and call her, not intimidated by her. So a nice smile and serving a client with a bit of information is definitely the way to go for her. I think it would be very inviting and she'll pick up more business that way. This one is way too cluttered and she's not the focus.
Okay. All right. One thing I guess we have to kind of caveat some of this with is we haven't reviewed the results. I don't know if you recall, but there could be instances where we're not right and some of these posts perform quite well. Maybe this particular woman will push back and say, well, actually this generated, a number of inquiries for me. So, and it's not to say that our changes or your changes wouldn't have made it even more effective, but I think we have to kind of just keep that in our heads as well here. All
I
right.
agree 100%. And I would love for somebody to call in or send you an email and say, no, actually this post really produced for us. I would
Yeah,
love
fair
to
play.
then revisit it.
Yeah. All right, cool. So we'll do one more and then we'll wrap up. So here we go. Max Strength
Okay.
Fitness. Can't hide that. It's right there.
Max Strength, great company, great franchise. Time is running out. Okay. So there's urgency there. Mystery leads to urgency. Time is running out, puts a little pressure. Referral extravaganza. I love referral programs. I'm a big fan of them. Know someone who needs Max Strength Fitness in their life? Refer them. When they join, you and your referee, is that right? Yeah, I guess so, will receive 3 months of training. Okay. Max Strength Fitness, a little wordy. I'd like to tighten up that text a little bit more and maybe be a little bit more exact on exactly what I'm going to receive, because that might motivate me just a tiny bit more. Overall, great post. It's got a lot of elements that I like. I think the colors are pleasing. I think the type is the font is great. Referral extravaganza is dead center and, nice big letters. Referrals. So the focus of this post definitely should be what it's going to do for you. What do I get out of it? Okay. So referral extra. So I'm going to give you business. What do I get? And that really needs to be a little bit bolder and a little bit bigger. So my only critique on this post is what the client would be receiving for their referral, maybe a little bolder and a little stronger somehow.
Got it. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. So just to add to that, so you're saying that it should be more specific in terms of what they receive. It says 3 months of training. Is that 2 months? Is that 3 months? It's got to be more specific, right?
I think so. And how many sessions would that be possibly? And with the time is running out, I would love to see a date,
right. When maybe that's in the caption that we don't see here, right?
That's very possible. And I would hope that it would be there. That would be great.
I'm sure knowing Jeff, it probably is. And another really important thing to point out here is Max Strength Fitness clearly have a very clear style guide for all their branding, because you notice their colors are all congruent with their brand, the orange,
Yes.
blue, and white. And I haven't seen a lot of their other content recently, but I'm sure it's all quite congruent. And I think this is an important point for startups or, people that are smaller businesses who are trying to start putting content out. You really want to come up with a style guide or a color scheme that you adhere to and are consistent with quickly, because it's just that consistency is going to generate more trust in the consumer. And this is like a well-known, if you read the book, Robert Cialdini's book, Influence, having consistency of your brand and your marketing is just really important for building that know, like, and trust factor that we all want to have in our prospects. So.
I agree 100%. But following Max Strength Fitness and Jeff will only help your business because they do it right. They're one of the major companies out there, major franchises that do it right. I'm sure he's got people. He's probably hired PR people or people that advise him on posts like this, or put them together for him. But either way, this is professional. It's really well done. I'm tweaking it a little bit for what I would like. I like throwing 2 free months or 8 free sessions, or I like a number in there so people can start doing the math in their head. Wow, that adds up to this much money. That's great. Yeah, okay, I got to do that. So, but other than that, this is a home run. Jeff does very well, and I'm sure if you were to write into us, he would tell us that this probably produced for them.
Yeah, I'm interested to know, Jeff. If you're watching, listening, let us know. Yeah, just one final point, just on Style Guide, if that confuses people. If you want to go down the less expensive route, you could just sign up for something like Canva for graphic design, which is like graphic design for beginners like me, or people that it's like no code software. So if you really have no idea how to do like graphic design, Canva is for you, because it's just a drag and drop type situation and lots of templates. But you could probably create a logo, or you can create a logo with Canva and then a style guide associated with that. So all your content you produce in Canva is consistent with the logo and the color scheme. Or you go down a slightly more expensive route, which is you hire a graphic design company or website design company to design your logo and then give you a style guide as well, which is a PDF document that tells you the rules. These are the fonts you use. This is the size. These are the different color schemes you use in different contexts for your logo. And then once you have that, you just adhere to it, and then all your content, all your colors, etc., are sort of consistent across your social media and your website and that. All right, Pete, that was awesome. Thank you very much. And just before we wrap up, just a couple of things quickly. If you want to obviously contact Pete, you can go to Facebook, Pete Cerqua, Cerqa. You won't find me on Facebook because I don't think I've announced this publicly, but I actually had my Facebook account deleted. I don't know why. Apparently we broke some rules, but I don't think we did. I haven't recovered it. I tried, but they won't let me appeal. So you can't communicate with me on Facebook. That's why. If you want to communicate with me, you can go to Instagram and just go High Intensity Business. I manage that account. I don't have someone answering the DMs there. That's me. Or you can email me, lawrence@highintensitybusiness.com. And if you want to apply for one-on-one coaching with Pete to help you transform your hit business to a high 6-figure or 7-figure business, go to highintensitybusiness.com/coaching. Pete, thanks so much for your time. We're looking forward to seeing you this Friday. Obviously, this podcast will be out long after that. But by the time this is out, we should have, and this is sort of, putting stakes on here, but we should have a weekly group coaching call with yourself. And so again, if people are interested in that, you can email me, lawrence@highintensitybusiness.com as well.
Thank you so much. Forward to it, Lawrence.
Awesome. And for everyone listening or watching or both, to get the show notes for this episode, please go to highintensitybusiness.com, search for episode 464. And until next time, thank you very much for listening. Hey, it's Lawrence again. Before you go, I have something special for those looking to accelerate their hit business. Would you like to know how to generate a flood of leads for free? Download our exclusive Build a Referral Machine playbook. It's a concise guide packed with proven strategies from Luke Carlson, CEO of Discover Strength, a fast-growing hit franchise. Clients in our Hit Business membership using these referral tactics have added 20 to 40 new clients, transforming their businesses dramatically. In this playbook, you'll uncover 4 dynamic referral tactics that you can implement right now to drive leads. Plus, when you download the guide, you'll gain access to invaluable resources to expand your business, like ready-to-use sales presentations, a guide for attracting top-notch trainers, a checklist for nailing your sales process, and so much more. And there's a bonus. Subscribe today to ensure you don't miss out on exclusive opportunities like live group calls with hit experts. Plus, you have the chance to contribute questions for our interactive Q&A blog posts and podcasts, where we directly address your queries with industry experts. These special events are scheduled periodically, and as a subscriber, you'll be the first to know when they happen. Just visit highintensitybusiness.com/ref, that's REF, short for referrals, highintensitybusiness.com/ref, or click the link available where you're watching or listening to this, drop in your email, and you'll get instant access to all these resources today. This episode is brought to you by Imagine Strength, your go-to for safe, simple, and effective high-intensity training equipment. Growing a successful high-intensity training business requires workout equipment that's not only high quality, but also intelligently designed to fit the unique needs of your studio. And that's where Imagine Strength comes in. Drawing on the wisdom of the legendary Arthur Jones, Imagine Strength has crafted a groundbreaking line of fitness equipment that's as affordable as it is efficient, giving your studio the upgrade it needs without breaking the bank. The team at Imagine Strength breathes HIIT. Their passion for high-intensity training shines through in their designs, which they've consistently refined and innovated for optimum effectiveness and user experience. From my personal experience at Rec, I can attest to the careful consideration and craftsmanship that goes into every single piece. My Imagine Strength workout was absolutely brutal, in a good way, of course. Now, what makes Imagine Strength truly stand out? They have innovative equipment tailored for the unique needs of HIIT studios, affordable and efficient designs, lowering the barriers to entry for a HIIT business, continuous innovation and refinement ensuring your studio stays ahead of the curve. Founder Jeff Turner and his team are dedicated to moving the HIIT industry forward and making strength training accessible to more people than ever before. Here's how you get started. Number 1, visit imaginestrength.com. Number 2, discuss your specific needs with the team. And number 3, select the equipment that will propel your business to the next level. Head to imaginestrength.com today and give your HIIT business the Imagine Strength edge. Be part of the HIIT revolution and see firsthand how their unique equipment can transform your studio's workout experience. Elevate your HIIT business with Imagine Strength.
Let's go.